Tonight, we crown the winner of our Fantasy Critic Draft for 2025. Stephen also gives his final thoughts on Split Fiction, and I give my early impressions on Metroid Prime 4. Let's discuss this and more on the Late Night Gamer podcast. Welcome back to the Late Night Gamer podcast. I'm your host, Welchy, and joining me tonight, as always, is the 2025 video game quiz champion, Andy.
Let's go. I completely forgot about that. And then, when you had that slight delay, I was like, what was he about to do here? But yeah, happy to be back, guys. Obviously, looking forward to the Fantasy League and seeing how that wrapped up. And yeah, hopefully moving on to next year with that as well. And hopefully see how I improve next year.
And also joined by our resident horror expert, Stephen.
Yes, hello everybody. This is a really weird one because I'm really excited. I'm so excited to talk about Split Fiction. Not so excited to talk about what we're talking about in the first part of this, but yeah, happy holidays. We're almost at Christmas as well, so it's a good time of year.
Yes, so this is our apologies, official last recording of the year. It's not the last episode because one of the movie episodes will go out on Wednesday. But this is the last time we're recording until the new year. And I do want to apologize for my voice and my coughing. My cough is back. It's worse for some reason, but we'll try and get through it without me having to mute so often, hopefully. So yeah, I clearly haven't changed my notes here because I started talking about the Game Awards. But anyway, tonight, what we're actually going to be talking about is the Fantasy Critic Draft. So at the beginning of the year, we got together. There's a website called fantasycritic.games, which we use to basically, what it does is you have however many players, we obviously have 3 players, each have a team, and you draft games to your team. I'm really struggling. And obviously those games have to be 2025 games, or at least games you think are releasing in 2025.
Very important part.
It's a very important part. So we got together, we did this as a podcast episode. So if you want to get back and listen to that one, then please do. We will be doing our 2026 one in about 3 weeks time, 2 weeks time. Actually, I think it's the same week we do Game of the Year. I think that's right.
Okay. Yeah. The good thing about the gaming side one is there's not many games that actually come out in January, whereas on the movie side, obviously there's a few movies already releasing that month. So I don't think until sort of end of February, we don't really have to worry too much about the Fantasy League in terms of what we might choose. But yeah.
Yes. But you do have to pick films from the beginning. Games. So you have to pick the whole year's worth at the beginning. Obviously, we'll go into it. There are ways you can draft more games, but so essentially point system similar to what we did on Rotten Tomatoes. If you listen to that episode, on the gaming side, the bar is set as 70. So using the website OpenCritic, the website will check what score the game you picked gets on OpenCritic. So say, for example, if you picked Gears of War 3 back in 2011, but whatever, the website would look at OpenCritic, see what score it got, and then if the game got 70, you'd get 0 points. If you got 90, get 20 points, 80, 10 points, so on. You also get minus points if it goes the other way. So if you got 60, or if it gets 60, you get minus 10. So the other point to mention is you get double points every point past 90. So if you get 92, those 2 points above 90, you get 4 points. You'd have 24 points rather than 22, which hopefully makes sense. Beauty of this one is this website does it for us, whereas the Rotten Tomatoes game, I did it on a spreadsheet, which still worked. But this one we could just do and forget about it as
Yeah.
such.
Yeah.
And you can track it on the website, can't you? So obviously me and Stephen can then
Yes.
keep an eye on what's happening school-wise.
And it's good because it has a list of games that are supposed to come out. And what it's good at is it even has rumors in there. So it might say, like, we'll get into it, the 3D Mario game, which is rumored to come out. So you can pick that one because it might happen. Not guaranteed, but it could happen. I guess that's the beauty of the game side. There's a lot of games will come out in the year that you don't know about, like from now. Whereas movies, you get some of that, but most of the movies we know roughly what's coming out. Games, some are getting announced at Games Fest, and some are only like, shit, get that into my team ASAP.
Well, that's a bit like with Expedition 33 at the start of the year.
Yes.
We didn't know about it personally, and all of a sudden you heard about it, added it onto your thing, and then obviously wins game of the year. So
yes,
a lot of hidden gems.
There's another thing called a counter pick. So each of us got to pick a counter pick each. What a counter pick is you pick another game from another team that you think is essentially not going to do very well. So, for example, one of Stephen's picks was GTA 6. GTA 6, right? Yeah. Got the number confused then. If I thought that GTA 6 was going to score really badly, obviously wouldn't. I would say, you know what? I'm going to counterpick that one. What that means is Stephen cannot do anything with that game. He can't transfer it out, and he can't. Well, that's it. That's all he can't do. What it also does is, if it gets negative points for Stephen, I will get those points but positive. Also works the other way though. If it was to get 90, which it probably would, I would get minus 20.
Okay.
So it's strategic. You've got to pick a game that you think is going to be either not going to release or one you think will not do as well as the other person thinks.
Yeah.
Also mentioned that you get transfers. So I'm calling them transfers. It's probably got a different name. And I think you can change this. So it's a setting that can be changed. So it's not like the same for everyone. This is a real fucking struggle today. My voice. So I think, set it so if you had a game that was announced to not come out. So for example, GTA 6, you could transfer 2 of those games out. So if you had 2 games on your list which were officially like an official statement that says we're no longer coming out in 2025, we're now 2026, you could get rid of those for free and bring in 2 more to fill those spaces. We also said there's one other space, the one other transfer. So if you had a game, you saw a trailer and was like, you know what, I don't think that's going to score very well, you could get something else in. Go on, Stephen.
It's important to stress as well that you've got to do that within the budget, as we'll discover that.
Yes, so that's just getting rid of games. You can also, so what we do, I think, have a look just to confirm it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 10 spaces. So I think at the beginning of the year we pick 6 games each, leaving 4 gaps. So throughout the year, you could get 4 games in. Like we said, some games will get announced in Summer Games Fest. So we could pick a game and try and get it into your team. You do that through a bidding system. So everyone starts the year with $100. You bid each week on a game if you want to. It wasn't each week, but say for the week, for example, the Switch 2 was announced. All the games that got announced, you could have gone, on that one. But if me and Andy both wanted it, if I bid $5 and Andy bid $4, I'd win it. Mm-hmm. But no one knows who's bid what. And that refreshes every week. So it's definitely fun. We're going to go through what happened with that later on. I think that's all the rules.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Sounds about right. So.
Important thing to note is, and we'll get onto that we're going to go onto that in a minute, Stephen, obviously. If you run out of money, you're fucked. Let's put it that way. We'll soon find out why that is, but that's just a key point.
Yeah. It isn't like fantasy football where when you transfer someone out, you get that money back.
Yes, exactly. And I think that's your confusion was you thought this game was worth this much to me, but it wasn't. It was nothing like that. It was just you sold it for nothing,
There's
You bought something for all your money. You
yeah
was never getting that back.
no. So lessons learned going into 2026.
Yes, which we're going to obviously. But yeah, so we did this on the 27th of January this year, and we're going to be doing it a bit earlier next year, around the 5th or 6th, whenever it is. And the first pick this year was Stephen again. So on both Rotten Tomatoes and this one, you got first pick.
I love how we're just pointing it out. Yeah, Steven's getting first pick in all these games. So
Yeah.
it doesn't
So
make too much of a difference.
Stephen
No.
got first pick, and this again, similar to Rotten Tomatoes, was a snake draft, which means Stephen went first, then me, then Andy would go again, then me, then Stephen, then
Yeah.
Stephen would go
It's funny
again,
how we had the
and
same
so on.
order on
Yeah,
the
exactly the
Rotten
same. And
Tomatoes
that's
game and that.
completely
Yeah.
coincidental. This website actually picked it for us.
Yeah.
And then the Rotten Tomatoes one, I think I used a website, which is like a random picker thing.
The spin wheel. Yeah.
So Stephen went first. Do you want to tell everyone what you picked?
It was GTA 6.
Which most people would assume is a sensible pick.
Yeah.
I can't remember at the time or not. I was always like, I'm in an iron whether I would do that if it was my first pick, just because I wasn't dead set on the release date being this year, which obviously turned out to be true. But obviously, if it did, you was guaranteed 90 plus, 94
Yeah.
plus, I would say.
I was taught the only one that maybe had beaten it to that would have been Ghost of Yotei, but I just felt that GTA 6, as as Gary Neville once said, it was the banker. It was the one that can't fail.
Yeah.
It can't go wrong. Can it? It can.
It can.
So yeah, that was kind of my thought process. That I thought it's going to be GTA 6. I thought whoever went first, potentially if you had that kind of doubt in your mind that it wasn't going to release, but if you didn't have that doubt, and I was at that point
yeah.
kind of steadfast, I would imagine whoever came first was going to pick that.
The thing is, we're going into 2026, and I'm still not sure because
Yeah, I know. With it being so like November,
if it
as
still had a
well,
May
like,
release date, I'd be
Yeah.
like, yeah, because if it gets delayed, it's going to be like to October, November. But now it's
Yeah.
already in November. I'm like, all it needs is a one
And
delay.
then I've still got that
Yeah.
itch of, is it actually going to be delayed further into
Exactly.
2027? And
It's not a guaranteed
yeah.
first pick, but it's more likely for me than it was last year. So I'm close to picking if I get a first pick.
Yeah. The important thing though is obviously, like we said, with the budget, you keep budget aside for those delays.
If it gets delayed, I'll get it
You
straight
obviously,
away,
yeah, you sort of choose your games for potentially only one of those games is going to get delayed. I can then switch that out with my budget. The rest should be should be certain to release.
Yeah.
Allows you to sort of play around with it a bit if that does happen.
So I got second pick and I picked Monster Hunter Wilds. I guess I should say obviously Stephen got 0 points for GTA 6, but that's obvious. I picked Monster Hunter Wilds, which scored 89, which got me 19 points, which is a very solid start to the year. And roughly where I was expecting it to be as well. Like it wasn't, I was hoping for 90 obviously, but I was around that 88 to 91 mark, I think. So I was very happy with that.
Yeah, very good game.
Andy, do you remember your first pick?
I don't actually.
It was Elden Ring Night Rain.
Oh god, yeah. Okay. I thought that was going to do a lot better than what it did. Yeah.
Can I just add? Did I then pick? Oh wait, well,
We'll
let
get
me get
to
to my
it,
second
yeah.
pick. Yeah, because there's something that's just played by, but we'll get to that.
So Elden Ring Night Rain probably underperformed for you a bit. It got 80.
Yeah.
We scored you 10.
Okay. I thought it done worse than that. Yeah.
But I think being Elden Ring and a Souls like, it was almost like they could have been better.
Yeah, I was expecting bigger things from it, but yeah, to be fair, 80 is still not a bad score.
Not bad at all.
In terms of consistency.
You obviously had back-to-back picks and picked Metroid Prime 4, which I'll hopefully get to talk about a bit later. Which scored you 81.
Again, like I'm not disappointed with that score, but I was expecting a higher score from how well the other games have done in terms of critic-wise. But yeah, again, if I can sort of get those scores next year with sort of different games and then hit a couple of bigger ones, then should be in for a good shout.
Yeah, so you're on 21 points already, which is solid. I then went on to pick my second game, being the untitled Mario Kart game, which did end up being Mario Kart World. So that paid off. It was a gamble, but I was like so sure it was going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Paid off.
That's,
That got me 87, 17 points. So with that and Monster Hunter
that's very
Wilds,
solid
a
start.
very solid start.
Yeah.
Um, and then Stephen, you picked Ghost of Yote.
So I am very surprised that neither of you in those picks didn't go for Ghost Yote. Looking back, was either
Uh,
of you thinking of it as like
Yes,
a pick being high up?
I think for me, Tsushima is that game which was, I can't remember, probably got like an 84, 85, maybe the first one.
yeah,
Um,
I think
Yeah,
that's
remember that.
84.
and I was, for those first couple picks, I was just looking for the 90s. And I
Right.
just didn't think Yote had the source for it.
You
And to be fair, it got fucking close. 87 is a great pick.
Yeah.
Um,
But you didn't think it. So in my head, I was thinking it was going to get a banker at 90. I
no, I thought it was going
had
to be
that.
more the same as Tsushima, but better. And it was.
Yeah, yeah.
But I thought it would be 85. So it still outperformed what I thought it would do. But I was looking for those 90s, which to me was America and Monster Hunter Wilds. And
Yeah, no, that's
to be
fair.
fair, GTA 6.
Yeah.
Um, then it was Stephen again. Do you remember what you picked?
No.
Atomfall.
Oh, okay.
I didn't do
Which
too bad, did it?
a game that we
Yeah.
liked a lot. It got 75, which got you 5 points.
Oh,
So what am I right now?
Yeah, 17 on 17 on Yote, 5 on Atomfall. So that's
So
22.
22. What could have been if, I mean, it wouldn't have changed anything massively because of what happens later down the line. But if I had GTA 6 in that, that would have been a very, very good start.
Oh yeah.
If
Yeah,
that
of
had come
course,
out, yeah.
Next pick was me. Again, surprised it took this long to get this game to get picked. Split Fiction.
yeah. In hindsight, I should
Uh,
have picked that sooner.
Yeah.
I
So
think some lessons to be learned from this one for sure.
that was my joint second highest, 91.
Yeah.
And I'm going to make a public apology right now if the developers of Split Fiction are listening, because I know I said on the Metacritic game that I went woefully low,
Yes.
woefully low. And that is probably the biggest misstep that I've probably ever said. Considering that I'll be talking about my full review to Split Fiction, I feel embarrassed.
Yeah.
I feel embarrassed. I should have gone way higher in that prediction, and I should have picked it way sooner. I think what I've realised is, maybe a bit more research to remember all of the games, because that was a major oversight on my part. I've got no other excuse.
I remember at the time thinking, when I saw that I had Monster Hunter Wilds, Mario Kart, and Split Fiction, I was thinking, if that Mario Kart game comes out and I'm right,
Yeah,
I'm in
you're
for
in
a
a very
fucking
good
good
spot.
time. And it paid off. Andy, you then picked Doom: The Dark Ages.
Yeah.
Which was your joint third best, 86.
Okay.
Very good score.
That's again, yeah. Consistent start.
You then picked Death Stranding 2, which was your second best.
Yeah. I'm like looking back at it, I'm thinking I probably should have picked those two first, and then obviously I still got those 4 games, but
Hindsight, isn't it?
yeah.
But Death Stranding 2 was a good pick. 90, 20 points. Then went
Happy with
on
that,
to,
of course.
I picked Metal Gear Solid, the remake, which got me 85. Solid again. And then Stephen, you picked Splitgate 2.
As soon as you picked that.
Me.
I did, like multiplayer games are usually a no-go.
Yeah, I've learned that. Yeah.
Especially a split game. I don't know if that game even exists anymore.
It does, it's changed name, but that got you 70. You're lucky. It got you 0. That could have been much worse.
That could have been a lot worse.
And I hated
Yeah, I will
Splitgate
not be
2.
picking.
I love Splitgate 1.
Yeah,
Hated Splitgate 2.
I really enjoyed. I was exactly the same. Really enjoyed the first one. The second one, yeah, waste of time.
Yeah.
Pile of shit.
So that was your first bad pick. You
Yeah.
then picked Mafia: The Old Country. That only got you 4 points at 74.
Okay. I mean, I expected that to be a lot higher. I was expecting maybe like 85, 86. It's still positive score. I mean, it could have been a lot worse. It could have been a lot better.
Yeah, no, that was a
But
surprisingly low score.
yeah, I also think the lesson that I've learned is that, and I think across both movies and games, that I went for ones that I was interested in, and I think I need a more broader scope. Like, didn't even really consider Nintendo at all, and that ultimately also led to my downfall. Because again, and it's not the best ones that when people say that they review are ones that they don't necessarily like. It's ones that they're going into with an open mind. So
Yeah.
yeah,
You need to.
hindsight's brilliant when we get to the end of the year. I just was so sort of in tunnel vision in terms of, oh, I can't wait to play Mafia. It's gonna be a great game. Just expecting that to be really good. And it wasn't.
As soon as you have that like personal connection with something, I think you are then a lot more biased towards it. I think
Yeah.
it's the same with The Conjuring, The Last Rites, and
Yeah.
with like Mafia. The other games didn't score particularly high, but yeah, because obviously you was looking forward to it.
I
You
thought it
thought
was
it
just
was
going to
going
be
to score
one
high.
that was going to get like the highest score. But again, that's coming from just solely a biased player. I would have rated it a lot higher because I really enjoyed it. But yeah, that is definitely a lesson to be learned.
Yeah, for sure. I then picked my first misstep. I picked unannounced mainline 3D Mario platformer.
Yes.
And I was convinced it was coming out as well, like up until probably the last Nintendo Direct, which is whenever I can't remember what that was, but I was like, it's still gonna come. I've still got a chance. They're gonna do it. They didn't fucking do it. And I think this one, if I'm correct,
Someone counterpicked it, didn't they?
yeah, someone counterpicked it. By Stephen. You counterpicked it because you didn't believe it's going to come out, and you was bang on. You bang on that one, which meant I couldn't get rid of it, and you didn't get any negative points. That's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Then Andy, you picked First Berserker Kazan.
Yeah.
Which got you 81, 11 points.
Again, cool. I don't mind hitting the 80s. Just need to make sure I get a couple of those bigger ones next time as well, along with those 80s. I thought I'd done worse than that, to be fair, but so happy with that.
Yep, not bad at all. Then your first misstep, you picked unannounced standalone Venom game.
Oh yeah.
Which was counterpicked by yours truly, myself. Because I just had
Always
no faith in that. I have faith that will come one day now. And I think our theory, Andy, with the PS6 predictions podcast, a PS6 launch title would make sense for that game.
Yeah, that does.
Yeah.
But
and also I was thinking that they're going to bring out Wolverine way before that.
And
that
we
was
now
also
know that's going to happen. Yeah.
Yeah, there for me. I thought there'd be no way. I would have been stunned. I would have eaten my like hat because I would have said at that point like 95% sure that's not happening.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Andy took a chance. Couldn't get rid of it because I counterpicked it. Same as me and Mario. It's just one of those. And then after that, I picked Ninja Gaiden 4. That was a fucking risk. Because that had only just been announced, I think, at that point. Got me 82, though. 12 points. Very happy with that.
Okay.
And I think that was my last pick. And I think that was your last pick, Andy, in the main picks.
In the main, yeah. Okay.
And then Stephen went on to pick an unannounced new Forza Horizon game.
Yeah. Now, I was not completely wrong because we did get technically a Forza Horizon game this year. We got Forza Horizon 5 on PS5, which, side note, is now back in the January sale. So I will be picking that up because it's gone down quite a considerable amount. So I will be playing that over the Christmas period. Very excited to play that. I thought we were going to get a new one, but we're getting that next year. So I was a year out. But I felt it was coming. So it's definitely one that I'm looking at because all of those always score very, very well.
Yeah, it's guaranteed 88 plus.
Now that I've said that, I shouldn't have put that into the ether because if you weren't thinking about that, you are fucking thinking about it now.
Still hasn't been officially announced.
No, but I'm pretty confident it's coming next year.
The Xbox guy, what's his name? Phil Spencer said Gears, Halo, and Forza. All coming next year.
The
Halo game is a remaster, so that's kind of bullshit. Gears E-Day we know is coming.
Mhm.
Forza, because it's not announced, I wouldn't say it's not coming because those games don't need long. You know what I mean? Like,
No.
not to develop it, they obviously do, but I mean
The
promotion.
the only
Yeah.
thing that could like fuck me over is that it is Forza, but it's not a Forza Horizon. It's like a new Forza
No,
Motorsport game.
it'll
that they're bringing.
be. I think they
You
know
think it'd be
Horizon is
Horizon?
their baby now.
Yeah, because they have like separated once. I think it was in between maybe 2 and 3 where they brought out a separate Forza Motorsport game, and because it's Xbox's anniversary, they might steer away. But it is their flagship, or even bolder prediction, we might even get 2. We might get a Forza Motorsport and then Horizon. Like, what would be so cool if they remastered the very first Forza Motorsport, like the very very first game
I don't think.
that came to Xbox.
I don't think. What's the word?
Like racing games, I know they don't tend to
Racing
get that
simulators
sort of,
don't need. You know, like arcade ones that Need for Speed, that's fine. But
Yeah.
simulators, I think you just make a better one. You know what I mean? Just make
Yeah,
Yeah,
I get
yeah.
that. It's a bold prediction, but it would be. I think it'd be pretty cool because that would be paying homage to.
If you want, just
their
pick 2
anniversary,
Forza
so.
Horizon games next year.
No, I'm not. I'm not going that far.
Um,
But we're definitely getting something from Forza in 2026.
Sorry, I'm just letting my voice calm down. We then picked our counter picks. Obviously, we said, didn't say this one, but Andy picked Forza as his counter pick.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. After
Thanks,
that,
Andy.
You're welcome.
we have a gap. We could do whatever we want. We had $100 from then on. You can draft games in through the bidding process, which I mentioned. I can't talk. Mentioned at the beginning. So the first weekend, 2 people picked up a game. Me and Andy.
Yeah.
Oh god, I can remember what my first game
Completely
is.
separate games, so we wasn't battling against each other. Andy, you picked up Civilization 7
Oh, okay.
for a
Let's go
total of
with
$5.
Yeah,
That got you 79, so 9 points.
yeah. Again, not too bad, but I was expecting that to do a lot better compared to like how the other games have scored and stuff. So that, yeah, didn't do as well as I initially thought it was going to do.
I picked up Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. Fucking what game to speak with that with. That got me 81, 11 points. I will just point out that is my lowest scoring game, 81.
That's crazy.
Jesus
All your games above
Christ.
80, other than
Solid
obviously.
score. Other than my Mario game, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
We then had another bid. Oh, on the 16th of February. Oh man. Okay, this is when Stephen went crazy. Okay.
Oh no! Oh no! I know it's
So on the 16th of February, there was 3 separate pickups. Andy, you picked up Lost Records
Yeah, massive mistake.
for $5.
That was my worst call.
That got you 3 points somehow at 73.
Yeah.
Stephen. Where do we start? So
No.
I'm gonna have to clear my throat for this one.
Now, can I just also point out, right? So we were talking about this, I think, just before we went into a recording, because I remember talking to both of you, and
So
I
think
was like,
it was a state of play reactions video.
yes, I think something along those lines. And I was kind of like panicking, thinking that there was a certain game, and I thought, like with fantasy football, that you bid all your Disney dollars, and then it's not coming. I can just withdraw that and get my Disney dollars back. And then I was like trying to argue the point of like, you're both wrong. I could do, and then that realization, the penny drops, and I just go, shit.
Yeah. The thing is though, even if it did come out, you still spent all your money
Yeah,
or like
I
majority of your money
know.
on it. So that like
I
argument doesn't make any sense because
I
if it come out
So to
Yeah,
get
I
some clarity
realised the
around what you
mistake.
picked, so you spent $40 on Directive 8020, a Dark Pictures
Yeah.
Anthology, get whatever, which eventually didn't come out. You also spent your remaining 60 in the same night. Actually, it tells me on the same minute of the same night
Oh
that's
god.
funny.
on Marvel's Wolverine,
Oh,
which again
that
did
is
not come out.
so-
But as Andy highlighted, you spent all your money. So even if you would have drafted them out, you couldn't
Yeah.
bring anything in. So that was
No.
your issue. It wasn't a bad attempt to get in those. If you got them for like a $5 each, Because me and Andy, as I can see here, didn't bid for it.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
The only mistake is I should have just done it at a lot lower bid, and then I would
Yeah.
have had
Yes.
extra picks and money because
Yeah.
that was in February. So the rest of the year I was out.
Yeah.
From that point to now, there was nothing I could do. So I'd already at that point, there'd be no surprise to anyone that I am last because I basically just
Yeah.
decided to suicide it and go, Joe, what? All right, I'm out, guys.
Yeah.
I don't even know like what you're thinking. Like
I don't know,
I honestly
Andy.
can't understand your thought process because you
No,
still
I
had
don't.
2 slots left as well. So surely you thought in your head, oh, if I spend $100 here, how am I going to buy the other 2 remaining slots in my team? Like,
Because in my head, I thought it was like the fantasy football bit
Where he
where
could
you
get money back. Yeah.
you get the money back if you transfer things out. That's generally what I thought. I
yeah, but
wasn't
you weren't
sure.
transferring things out though.
No, but he
No, I
thought
mean, like,
if Wolverine was announced not to come out, he could get his 60 back.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's
but what I'm saying is you're obviously expecting it to come out, so you still spent all your money on 2 games when you had 2 slots
Yeah,
left, knowing that in your
Yeah,
mind you're
I
thinking,
agree,
oh,
yeah.
they're going to release. Like,
I
there's just no
realised.
logical thinking behind
No,
it.
it wasn't. It was the most illogical moment that I probably had all year. So, and that is saying
Yeah.
something because we've had some illogical moments. Generally,
Yeah.
I have no idea what I was doing. This shows that I basically was out of my depth, not cut out
Yeah.
for this year. We won't be making the same mistake next year. That is for sure.
So the week after, the best play of the whole game was made by myself because I picked up
Oh,
Claire
Expedition.
Obscure Expedition
Yeah.
33 for $1.
Yeah.
You're
$1.
so cool.
And that got me, I think, my highest score. Where is it? Yeah, my highest score, 92.
Yeah.
Scoring me
Jeez.
Very good pick.
24 points, which I was very fucking happy with.
At this stage, what you kind of thinking like unless something terrible happens, because your list of games is nuts.
Yeah, once I got Claire and the hype was building, the previews were out, and I was God, sorry.
Yeah, that was a quick turnaround as well, wasn't it?
It was getting bigger and bigger, and everyone was like, "This could be a good like a game of the year contender." I was like, "I got to do it," and I got to just not talk about it, don't mention it. Let it
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
You done well with that.
So I was very happy to get that one. And then Andy picked up another game, Donkey Kong Bonanza,
I was happy with that.
for $30,
Yeah.
which got
Good pick.
you.
Yeah, I bid a bit more on that one because I thought you might have went for it, Welchy. So I was like, if you bid $5, $10 for that, I'm safe for $30 and still got a lot to play around with.
Yeah. Got you 91, which got you 23 points. How does that work out?
The
Okay. So the
don't
way
know.
it works, they use the back end of OpenCritic. So OpenCritic shows you 91 on the page, but in the back end it might be like 91.9 or 91.4,
okay.
whatever. So
Yeah.
it gives you double of the decimal. So
Yeah.
you somehow got more.
Makes sense. I'll take it.
I then picked Hollow Knight Silksong for $1. And that
I
got
wonder if
me
you
91.
bidding $1 on games next year,
Well,
or you'd be a bit more safer. Yeah.
91, 22 points. Happy with that.
It's funny because you're saying Steven spent $40 and $60 on 2 games. You're like $1.
In $2, I got 92 points and 91 points.
Yeah, that's quality.
Oh, this just gets this is bad. This is really, really. This is why I wasn't looking forward to talk about this. Idiot, man.
Andy's final bid of $55, which I imagine was just the rest of your money.
Yeah, probably was. Yeah.
Silent Hill F.
Yeah.
You spent $55 on Silent Hill F, Andy. What the fuck were you thinking? That's too much money now.
86 points.
I had no slots left, so.
Yeah, no.
86.
86, 16 points, yep.
Yeah, I expected that. That sort of score from it, I expected.
I had one space left. Sorry. Didn't know what to spend it on. So I spent it on the Outer Worlds 2. And that got me 83. Not bad. Again, I think I spent $1.
You could have gave Steven your $90.
I had $94 left.
That's mental.
Andy had $5 left, so he did have some left.
Yeah, I think I left myself $5 in case something got delayed and I could switch out.
Yeah. So
which is what you meant to do, Stephen.
Yeah, I get it. I know now.
some stats. Me and Andy both had 10 games. Nine of them released.
Yeah.
Stephen, you had 4 games released.
Oh my god.
That's mental.
Which puts you at a massive disadvantage, obviously, straight away.
Yeah. And that's before I then basically decided to fuck myself over with my little tactical bit of play that just, yeah.
Well, you only had 8 games on your list, but we had 10, obviously minus the one that didn't release.
Yeah, exactly that.
So,
That's funny.
wow, I'm going to have to let you talk about Split Fiction, I think. Final scores. In third place, Stephen.
Whoa, no one
Who's
expected
that?
that.
It's got decimals, so I'll round up. 26 points.
Oh, at least you got positive on this
There's
side.
1 point, yeah. There's no negative score there. I'll take that. I will take it.
In second place, Andy, 118.
That's a crazy jump, and I know it's a crazy jump from me to you.
In God, in first place, I got 100. Can't even say it. 155.
Wow.
I think he said 115. Getting interference.
Yeah, so I'm the champion. Put a little crown on my
Yeah, well
head
done.
of the Fantasy Critic and the Metacritic game. Just want to point that out.
Yeah, you won on the gaming side.
Yeah, that's a very good
And the
bit of
Game
work
Awards
there.
predictions. I'm having a great time. Not on the movie
Yeah.
side. But next year we're going to be doing it again. Jack should be joining us to make it 4 teams to make it interesting.
Yes.
No, I'll actually know what I'm doing next year. So
Yeah, we'll do the same format with this one. Exactly the same, just add another person. So
Yeah.
it'd be fun. Look out for that beginning of January. For now, I can't talk anymore, so I need Stephen to talk. His review on Split Fiction.
okay. So yeah, and don't worry, I have lots to say, so you can take a break from talking. Split Fiction. I mean, this is just I don't even know where to start. I'm gonna go through sort of the chapters and the bits that like I really enjoyed. And I only finished it about a couple of hours ago, and then the 2 remaining side missions that me and our friend James, because we were playing it together. Put it this way, we're already looking in like February time to play It Takes Two and another title. He said the title earlier,
Way Out.
but it's A Way Out. So we've already decided that we're going to play both of those at some point.
You might want to have a look because A Way Out is currently on sale for very cheap, like a $5.
We
It's quite a
worked
cheap
out.
game anyway, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, both of them are
Well,
on sale actually at the
We
moment.
worked out for £6
Yeah.
each of us, we'll get both of the games. So
Yeah, yeah.
it's a no-brainer to do that. And that is because Split Fiction is not just one of the best games that I've played this year. It is one of the best games I have ever played. And I'm not just saying that as sort of a throwaway or overstating it. This is absolutely one of my most favorite gaming experiences that I've ever played, particularly as I've had a lot going on outside. So sometimes you want a video game to kind of give you that escapism, and fuck me, Split Fiction is probably the best time to play that game because it's unreal. It is absolutely unreal. I can't believe what they've achieved, and it is incredible. When I last got to, I think I spoke the first 3 chapters of Split Fiction, so I'll start from where my notes sort of begin. There's a side mission in chapter 4, which is basically like reminded me of Harry Potter. So it's the one where basically you become like the really fat lady. I was able to get James to sit on me in this world, which made me just laugh out loud. We turned into cheese. We set off fireworks.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I was like, this is literally, even though I don't really like Harry Potter, I really quite like this whole side mission. Just we spent a good sort of 10, 15 minutes going around just behaving like really stupidly. So like some of the side missions were just so unbelievable. And then you would be taken back to the chapter, which was equally really amazing. So I was like, this is just not stopping. We then did a Robot Wars boss battle, which that was a challenging boss battle, those robot wars. That sequence in itself was like challenging, but a lot of it I felt just was like you die a couple of times at the beginning and then you would start working out what you've got to do and naturally you would just get better. And a lot of it was that we would try stuff, it didn't work, and we're like, oh, okay, this is what we need to do. Or there might be a couple of bits in the boss battle where like I die and then James is having to just hold on, and then vice versa. There were a couple of times where we both got absolutely just wiped out. And I think one of the things I realized with Split Fiction is that there's a hell of a lot of boss battles in it. And normally I'd get really annoyed with the game, keep throwing me boss battles, because we always kept saying at every chapter, there's a boss battle coming, there's a boss battle coming. But the actual boss battle mechanics were so fun and so engaging. It was always something new each and every time that I didn't find it a problem. I think if it had been maybe not a co-op experience, I'd sometimes tend to find, I don't know if you find it, when you've got a game that is heavily reliant on boss battles all the time. I've said it before in previous games where it starts to annoy me if it's the same mechanic. But because Split Fiction,
Oh yeah, we said the same with
yeah,
Mafia. Mafia is a good example.
Yes,
where the boss battle is the same every time, and that gets
Yes,
boring. Whereas
it
Split
does.
Fiction, like you say, is it's new mechanics, so it's so
Yeah.
much fun trying to learn those mechanics.
It was not tedious in any shape. Or there were some sections in the game that were challenging and sort of not tedious in a bad way, tedious in the fact that we were having to really concentrate and work out what our next bit is. But that's the difference in that kind of tedious to the tedious, like you said in Mafia, where it's just literally the same mechanic being played over and over again over a campaign. We then got to the side mission drawing sequence, which I said last week was like my favorite like individual set piece of the year, because that drawing sequence in the side mission, which I want to say is either in chapter 4 or 5, that is by far my favorite. Like, well, I say favorite side mission, one of my favorite missions in the entire game. The level of detail and creativity in that bit, because like for me as well, I'm going on so many different tangents, got so much to say, but like I love writing. It's something that I've always wanted to do. I have written a short story on my YouTube channel before, and I've always been fascinated by people writing stories. As a kid, I was always fascinated by it. So to have a game that kind of plays on that, I'm already in love. But to have something where like you're literally having a storyboard that is being created and that you're playing as you're doing it, I've never seen anything like it in any other game that I've ever played. And there's so many points during the game where I said, Chaz, like, how have they done this? Like, generally, how on earth has this been done? And just when you think you've seen everything in Split Fiction, it throws you something completely new. You're just like, whoa. But that drawing sequence, I think, will stay to me like till my dying day. It was just jaw dropping. It was so impressive. It was so brilliantly done. You know, you would draw and you would become like massive and then tiny. You would have the dragons that would then be drawn and then erased and then it would move. And I was like, just as an individual set piece, it was absolutely stunning. And like I also had to have riddles. So there was a bit where we had to then like cross what we thought the riddle was. One we got absolutely right, and the other one we were like, hey, that doesn't make any sense. And I love stuff like that. It was testing me in places that I never thought it was going to be. We then moved on to a sequence in a paddle boat where you've got to do like L2 down this river, then R2, and then the current starts picking up. We actually did it again tonight in one of the side missions because we had 2 left over. And that was challenging. The amount of times that we just went straight into like one wall or another wall. Sort of for the first like 6 chapters, we were playing it very straight, and then I kind of started to get a little bit devious. So there was a couple of times where I had to hold back and let like James go through something, and at the last minute I would just kind of let go because it was very funny, and then he would do the same. There's a couple of moments in the game where like you're like Zoe gets trapped, or Mio, is it Mio?
Mia?
Mio, where you're in situations where you've got to rely on each other, and I kept laughing, oh, my life is in your hands, and then you get to the point where you take them a bit over, and then you'd be like, oh, sorry, finger slipped, which I know you both said. So you kind of, I hope you planted that seed in my head, and in some of the later chapters I was like, oh, okay, let's do that. But then equally I was like, okay, let's like get back to where we need to go. And there was another side mission at Mio's 5th birthday. I don't know if you remember that side mission where you have it's a food sequence. Yeah.
Oh.
Yes. Right. So that sequence was nuts because I was like going, this is awesome. Like we're having to like light the candles, and it's like her birthday, and this is like you've got sort of the chocolate that is running like through the floor. It reminded me very much of like the opening sequence of the Simpsons game movie, where like you're in the chocolate land. I got vibes of that. It reminded me of how much I love that sequence as a kid. But it did make both me and James really hungry. We were like thinking, should we go like downstairs and get chocolate? Because it was just done so brilliantly. And then I said to him, I went, "How is this game a Peggy 16? Like this is like a 5-year-old could play." And then I've never seen a 180. I literally said that. And then we get the boss battle with the dentist.
Yeah, that's so cool.
It's like on the other end of the spectrum. I literally was like, oh, okay, right. So we've had like the 5-year-old mission, and now it's like if a 5-year-old player, they would be shit scared of that. Just the concept is so cool, but I just didn't. I don't know if you both felt where it was just such a change, like completely different change. And I thought once the candle was lit, I was like, oh, that's a really nice side mission. I was really happy with that. And then all of a sudden, it goes down a really sort of demented horror sequence with a dentist. I was like, this game has taken me from becoming a hot dog to lighting a birthday cake to fighting someone in a dentist chair. I was like, literally, where else can we go from that point? There was also a bit in after that the ball set piece, so the pinball sequence, which in my notes I said is my favorite. Which I said was like my favorite mission by like far, but then like I played a lot more since that point. So I don't like. Jay said to me tonight, "What was your favorite chapter?" And I was like, I can't really answer that. I don't really know. They're all like pretty much amazing. The art sequence is my favorite bit in the game in terms of the thing that's stayed in my memory. But that pinball sequence and then what essentially becomes the crystal maze with all the lasers is absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
And not to mention that it gets even more challenging when you've got one that has to keep the light on and the other one that's then got to jump through. And then every stage it just got progressively more challenging.
Yeah. I think that's also, the chapter that has a secret mission in. There's like a secret mission that I doubt you guys picked up on it. We didn't pick up on it.
Secret mission?
Yeah, there's like a secret level in the game, and the first 2 people that found it got rewarded. So there's probably a part that you have missed as well.
Oh, okay.
We haven't gone back.
It's not a side mission. You don't have to do it, but there's like a extremely difficult mission to do or challenge.
Okay.
The first people in the world that did it got to meet the developers.
Oh wow! Have you guys gone back and done that yet?
No, we haven't done it.
Okay, I'll have to look into that because we want to do every single frame of this game.
Good luck.
But
it's extremely hard to do.
Oh, is it? Okay. But there was in the Crystal Maze sequence. So there's one bit where I went ahead, but realised that I needed then the light to guide James through a jump. But once I went over, I couldn't go back. So he had to do it blindfolded. And the way that we had to do it is we had to then kind of, I got the light to see where it was. And then he had to just gauge the jump. He did it. But otherwise we'd have to like restart the checkpoint. So I said like, fair play that you've been able to do that. Because sometimes I would go like, oh, we've done it. And then go, oh, fuck, I've got to go back now. So that was on me. But James did very well at sort of rectifying that situation. We did have one glitch, which was a bit weird. It was in chapter 6. So James was getting hit in that was it. So we had a glitch in chapter 6 in the laser part. So where I have to use my magnet to kill a robot. I don't know if you remember that sequence in chapter 6.
Not at the top of my head.
But basically, James was getting hit. But the guy hadn't spawned on my screen, but had spawned on his screen. So he was getting hit, and he's like, "Steve, why are you not killing him?" And I went, "Well, who am I killing? There's no one on like the part of the magnet." And we literally were in a situation where it had spawned on my part of the screen, but not his. So we did have to restart the checkpoint, and then it fixed that. But I don't know if you had any problems like that. That was the only glitch.
We didn't have any glitches
that we picked up in the entirety of the game, which I did tend to say. I know, obviously, that it's not an EA game, but as it's published by EA, I was like, well, I don't think I've played a single EA game, whether they've dealt with it or not, that has some kind of glitch or weird moment. I'm surprised I didn't get kicked off the EA servers. That probably played the first game. That didn't happen in any of the 8 chapters. So that was a bit of a weird sort of part. There's also another sequence in, I think it was chapter 6, where we spent ages on. We went on like I think I spoke about it maybe last week. It was like a shooting range, where you both had to get 1,000 points. So it was in like this futuristic bit, and you go like through a door, round the left-hand side, and then go up. We thought we had to shoot all the targets for the door to open. Turns out it's just a standard mini game that you just do for fun. But to get the top score, you had to get a headshot every time. You couldn't miss a bullet. And we did find it challenging. I don't know if there's a trophy for doing that or not. And I don't know if you guys picked on. It's like a shooting range. It reminded me of the Easter egg in Buried in Zombies, where all 4 players have to shoot each target. And if you miss one, it goes back to the beginning. And it was kind of similar in that. It's in one of the doors in the futuristic missions in Chapter 6.
I don't remember doing it, but yeah, there's so much in that game. So
the thing is, right, what was annoying is we spent about 25 minutes, and then I went, the door's already open, we just have to go out and turn right, and then we're there. So there was a lot of moments in the game where we wasted a lot of time, where we simply didn't need to. And I will say that my least favourite bit of the game did come in Chapter 7. The first half of Chapter 7, which is basically the one where you have all the ghosts and you're having with that ability. So I put it on a flat surface, and then I'm able to draw it in. And then James has got the mechanic where like a massive bit of white aura goes into the roof, and you can then jump and then walk around. It's the ghosts where you're standing in the bit and the ghosts come at you and they make this horrible shrieking sound.
I do not remember this bit.
Oh,
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, I don't remember being any ghosts in fiction.
There's like these ghosts that then start making this really horrendous sound. It's like ear-shattering sound that they make. And if you spend too long being caught in their crossfire, it then kills you. And we had to then use the ability. So it's the one where you're basically in Zoe's subconscious towards the end of the game with her, spoiler alert for anyone who has played Split Fiction, with her sister. You go through the subconscious and there's ghosts. It's before you get to her house. Don't know if that helps, but
I remember the house bit, but yeah.
The first half of that chat. Do you remember?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like when you say ghosts, it's like 2 spirit things.
But they make an awful sound that like absolutely ruptured my ears, and that bit both annoyed me and James because we were getting frustrated because it wasn't clear about where you had to put, because some of the flat surfaces I pressed L2 and it wouldn't go anywhere because you would have to then use that to move bits of the boat, so to speak. There was a boat in the sea and I'd have to use that to drag it from one area to another area. And on top of that, I've got these spirits coming at me making these awful sounds. So it was the only part of the game where I was like, okay, this is absolutely annoying me. But as soon as we then became millipedes in the second half of Chapter 7, that was sick. And the sequence with the rotating rings was so challenging but awesome, where you basically had to swing and then let go, press L2, then R2, and then each rotating ring got progressively more challenging. Did you guys get through that quickly? Did you find?
I think we did. Yeah, we was pretty good. We like throughout all the chapters, we was pretty much in sync. I remember that. That's like one of my favorite parts of the game.
It was incredible.
We played quite well. We was playing Split Fiction, so we was flying through it.
Yeah, which I can. I mean, there were moments where like both me and James were absolutely on it in sync, but that sequence took us a number of attempts. We kept getting to like the very end, and then you have to jump onto the middle bit of the last rotating ring, and then swing and then let go to then go to the other side, and we just kept being like a fraction off. A lot of it comes down to essentially just your timing. So if your timing is slightly out by a little millimeter, you're not going to be able to do it. But just the whole millipede section, that he'd be on one bit of the path, I'd be on the other bit of the path. If I went too far forward, he would fall. Same in the other direction. I was like, this is absolutely like sick. And then when you find out that the millipedes are Zoe's mum and dad coming down to protect her, I was like, oh man, that is awesome. Like, just again, it was another set piece that I was like, this is great. James said to me as well that so there's a boss battle towards the end of Chapter 7 inside the stomach of a dragon, and he wanted me to say on the podcast that it reminded him of the giant snake sequence inside the stomach of the first God of War, which obviously I haven't played yet. Next year, but I don't know. Did you both get that vibe that it gave you God God of War feelings. And that was really cool. Like being in the stomach of a dragon and then having to like shoot things actually inside. I was like, that's it. And then the heads would like fly off and you'd throw something and their heads would just get like decapitated. And there were moments in the playthrough where I was like, oh, okay. So there were darker moments, but generally speaking, it was pretty much much more family friendly than what I thought. It just was so mature as well. So you'd have those fun moments like we spoke earlier with the pig and then the birthday cake, but then it would just literally like go back. And also what I would just say is chapter 8 is probably the most craziest final mission I've ever played. I have no idea how they managed to do that. Chapter 8, we had a vibe that we thought that it was going to be previous worlds coming back and that Raider was going to control that. I didn't anticipate that we would be in two separate worlds working in synergy with each other to navigate through. Like, I just don't know how they were able to do that. It was absolutely bonkers. Also, a question that we had. So at the very end of the game, you know, on Blake's tombstone, which is Mio's father, that you find out that's like passed away because he was ill. On our tombstone, it said December 2025. Do you remember? Did it say the same for you, or does the game know when you're playing it, so it changes the day? Because we thought it was quite like
I
weird.
don't remember.
It was like the 16th of December 2025, and I was like, oh, okay. Sort of. I don't know if that was. I thought that'd be a really nice extra touch if it was sort of.
If it changed, yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
think I've
it
got my
picks
Twitch
up when
streams
you
anymore, but
play.
I'll have a look.
That'd be interesting to know. I think just as a sort of final foot. So James said that he said one like critique, and I kind of understand the first bit, not the second point. He said that a couple of hints. If there was a couple of moments where we really did get stuck in terms of we had no idea what we had to do, and it would have been nice as a game, just not that we wanted to be spoon fed, but just a subtle hint, which those other games do, because there were sequences like the chicken and egg sequence where we were on it for ages and we end up working it out in the end, but a subtle hint meant we'd have done it much quicker. He also outlined that he felt the story was very predictable. So there was a lot of things that we predicted that we were absolutely spot on. So like we predicted that it was that Zoe's sister had either been killed or she was imaginary. And I said that I think she's dead. And with the fact that for Mio, I thought it was a case that someone is ill and that's why she's so cold. But I also said, oh, I bet they're going to turn it into a book at the very end of the game. Or I think James said that as well. And that was absolutely spot on. But wherein sometimes campaigns where I get annoyed if it's predictable, I just think the story of Split Fiction is so clever. Even though I could see a lot of it coming, I still think it was done so brilliantly. And the end of the game is so like heartwarming as well. It has so many tender, loving, heartwarming moments that I'm not going to mark it down for that. My only gripe would be the first half of chapter 7 I didn't enjoy. It was the only part of the game that I didn't enjoy, and maybe a couple of hints here or there, but barring that, it is an absolutely unbelievable game. It's faultless barring those caveats, but as I said, the rest of it is one of the best experiences that I've had, not just this year but ever in my gaming career.
Score out of 10?
Yes, 4 out of 10. No, this is absolutely a 10 out of 10 without any shadow of a doubt. I don't think you could give this game any. Like, did you Welchy give it a? Or did you give it 9.5? Oh, so you agree that you thought the story was too? Did you find it too predictable?
I thought it was quite weak. In total, I like their individual stories, like you're talking about.
Yeah.
What I didn't like was the overall story with what was going on with that guy, the man who ran the
shop. With Raider.
Yeah, I just genuinely didn't care about it. I like their individual stories with their families, whatnot, but not the overall story.
I think those that I didn't get bothered by Raider was only because that he'd been spending his life trying to steal loads of ideas, and his idea of what he'd been working long term was being jeopardized, and he just goes absolutely crazy. There is that part of it that is a little bit sort of cartoony, and maybe because obviously having the personal connection with a parent, so that really resonated with me, and I really resonated with both Mios. I said to James at the very beginning of the game when they're not very happy with each other, I was like, by the end of the game they're going to be besties. So I get that. I kind of saw a lot of it. There was nothing there that was a twist or a surprise, but I think I love the whole idea of it, which kind of makes me give it a pass.
That's the good thing about Split Fiction, though. The story doesn't have to be crazy good. It's more showing off the mechanics and the missions.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
if you're
for
gonna
sure.
if you're gonna provide a story, I have to rate it with that story. If
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So did you give it 9.5?
Yes.
That you knocked it down? Yeah. Which is still an unbelievable game. But
Did you guys see any Easter eggs?
key example, like in terms of
There's one where there's a couple of people like in a prison cell, and I think you can shoot them down or you can save them.
maybe we might have done. We did a lot of stuff that we
They
tried
wouldn't know
lots of
that
different
anyway
things
because
to get more
they're the
trophies.
voice actors
They haven't
from
played
A Way Out.
from A Way Out. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Maybe when we play A Way Out and It Takes Two, then there'll be moments where, oh, that is split fiction. That now makes sense, but nothing that.
Yeah. There's a bit where there's two characters from A Way Out in like a prison. I'm pretty sure it's a prison
It's like
cell.
a prison.
And you
yeah.
and you then like shoot their thing and they fall down, I think, and you like
okay.
basically kill them. But
You don't have to do that, I don't think. But we did.
No, you don't have to. Yeah.
I hope I've sort of covered everything because again, there was so much to talk about, but generally, unbelievable. That was such an experience. I'm so happy that I got a chance to play that. And yeah, game of the year is going to be interesting.
It is.
It's just that last level in split fiction. Like there's like obviously so much that me and Welchy said, but until you play it yourselves to actually experience all those mechanics in like one moving sequence is like crazy.
I just don't understand how they did it,
Yeah.
and then it kept getting more and more explosive, and I just was thinking, this is just there's that bit where like the screen is like rotating round, and then one bit you're in like James' world, and then you're in my world. It's like what the actual hell?
Do you understand now why I've been saying like throughout the year, like why have more games not taken inspiration from split fiction and their mechanics, what they've used and stuff?
As I was playing it, a lot of the stuff that you guys have been saying, and also like I'm gonna go back and now release your split fiction review in full because obviously I didn't want it to be spoiled. But yeah, it's all now made perfect sense because I was thinking if this last chapter is really shit, I'm gonna come on this podcast. I think you baited me, but yeah, the last chapter is unlike anything I've ever seen.
Wow, my voice went funny then. I'm gonna try and read JJ Rose's review. He sent it in to me. I'll do as good as I can with my voice. So he said, I really enjoyed this game. The mechanics were the best I've seen in any title I've played before. It was fun from start to finish and never knew what was coming next. It's the perfect co-op game. It's not finished, it's just me. The gameplay was unpredictably great, but the story was predictable. I'm now looking forward to going back to playing A Way Out and It Takes Two. An easy 9.5 from me.
Yeah, I wondered. Yeah, and he was evoking the story. I think again, I'm probably being a bit biased. If I was being really harsh, maybe, but I can't knock it down personally for that. But I get it. I wouldn't say it's an unfair criticism of the game.
Yes, good review, Stephen. Glad you got around to playing it. I was going to talk about Metroid, but I cannot talk. I need to stop talking. So we're going to call it a night there. Sorry. I do want to really apologize for my voice. It's just completely gone today. But it's the last recording of the year. Hopefully 2 weeks off now. Although it's
fresh in the year.
Christmas isn't going to help, but hopefully for Game of the Year podcast, I'll be back to normal. For now, thank you for watching this episode. Let us know what you thought. I've not updated this, but let us know what you thought of our Fantasy Critic game and what you thought of Split Fiction if you played it. Drop your thoughts in the comments or tag us on socials at the Late Night Pods. We'd love to hear your thoughts. If you enjoyed the episode, please make sure to follow, subscribe wherever you're listening. And if you're watching on YouTube, hit the like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss the next episode. Speaking of which, this was our last episode of the year. Next episode will be Tuesday the 26th of January, and that will be our Game of the Year episode, which hopefully I can talk in. Until then, thank you for hanging out with us tonight. I've been your host and champion of the Fantasy Critic, Metacritic, and Game Awards predictions.
Oh!
And I've been joined, as always, by my co-hosts, the gaming quiz champion of 2025, Andy.
Yeah, thank you as always, guys. It's been a pleasure.
And Stephen.
and are not champion on any of the gaming side,
No.
but 2026 is my year. Yeah, been a pleasure, and cannot wait to talk about all things gaming in the new year.
Thanks again for listening. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and keep on gaming.